Welcome. This is the Bright Professor. I'm Dr. Leonard Bright. Welcome back to another episode in a series where I explore in detail a meeting between me and my wife and the dean and his executive associate dean after I learned that my college recommended that I be denied promotion to the full professor rank on the basis of research. One of my central concerns was that the university and the dean allowed an individual who had a history of hostility against me and my wife the responsibility to lead my promotion process. I allege that this individual acted on his hostility and led an effort to rig my promotion process. In the previous episode, you heard the dean shift from my complaints and blamed me for what happened to me. At the time of this meeting, I did not know that the university and the dean already had information that supported all of my allegations. Instead of solving these problems, the dean engaged in a broad effort to suppress this information and brush my complaints under a rug. In this video, I am tuning back where we left off in episode 2, where the dean expressed a false claim that no one knew about the hostilities that me and my wife experienced at the hands of Faculty 1. You will hear the dean make multiple contradictions as he attempts to make excuses for his leadership failures that led to the rigging of my promotion process. Then, when he could not provide answers for his leadership failures and contradictions, he began to launch personal insults against me. Let's get started.
But they all didn't know that. They all don't know this history. I didn't know anything about this history.
Well,
So you raised it.
Well,
That was
but
good.
guess what? Does.
But
You think we didn't talk to people? You think I wasn't? These are female colleagues at the time to me.
Yeah.
They do. I stood right out there. Does. They do. I said, I was injured here. And my husband is devalued. And I wanted them to do something. And they said, look, and we're friends. I'm staying out. At a point, is the person a problem based on what they have done? Is that a conflict of interest to say that somehow he just magically
is that a
can
conflict
be
of interest?
Excused? That
if the process is not biased, because other than your view is that doesn't like you, maybe that racist.
Who said that?
That's not
you
what
gotta
you
have
meant.
a racial wife. I hope you ain't
That's
racist.
not what I said. I didn't say anything about him
What are
being racist.
you saying?
I put it in writing. I put it in writing. I said was retaliating.
Right.
He was angry
That he
about
got
me
let go
being
by Ryan.
Because your wife got fired.
No, because he got let go by Ryan. Ryan came when we sat in here.
Okay, you just
he
need
was
to know
upset.
that. Well, you just need to know that Ryan told me he did not remove department head, that he did not reprimand, that he did not investigate at all. Just so you know, I mean, just that Ryan told me that.
He told me that should not have done what he had did. He offered me another job, and he said that he was going to reprimand.
Well, he has a different recollection.
Okay,
That's interesting.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
This was indeed interesting because it was completely untrue. We saw with our own eyes the efforts that Dean Crocker made to address the issues and concerns of my wife. Even more, Dean Welsh didn't know that my wife actually recorded her meeting with Dean Crocker. And out of respect for the former ambassador, she did not mention that in this meeting. She actually recorded this meeting. And I was unaware of it until she told me after the meeting. Christina met with Dean Crocker about 1 year after Faculty 1 fired her from her position in retaliation. Before that meeting, Christina described in detail her complaints and her concerns to Dean Crocker in writing. One of her issues was that as a black faculty, her class was taken and then given to the wife of an incoming white faculty member. When she was able to meet with Dean Crocker, he had already did a preliminary investigation, talked to Faculty 1, who was serving as the interim department head. Then Crocker confirmed that he believed that she was indeed mistreated. And then he offered her the opportunity to come back and teach, for which she declined, because we actually had a conversation about that possibility. And we agreed that it wouldn't be wise for her to return to the department, especially given that Faculty 1 was still the interim department head and the hostility that he expressed toward her and me. Then Dean Crocker made her aware that he had just told the permanent department head that he could extend his leave with the NSF for an additional year, but now was going to reverse his decision and recall him to his position. he did that. The permanent department head retired 1 year later, and Faculty 1 never regained the position of interim department head.
I'm going to talk to Ryan again, and I'll get his words. He didn't say anything about Bill coming forward. That wasn't the point. He just talked about the reprimand and the did you reprimand? Why did you remove him as interim department head? He said I didn't. I did not remove his interim department head.
So and he said he
did not reprimand. He talked to about losing his temper.
This is sounding, this sounds like you're skirting the line here. Thank you for saying that, because to me that is in keeping with what we're saying.
Right.
And looking for some particular dotted official this, official that. No, apparently he didn't make anything official. But this was a conversation between him and you can call it reprimand, or you can call it having a kumbaya conversation. Whatever it was, he addressed what he did. Dean Welsh is intentionally confusing two different and separate storylines. Each time I asked how Dean Crocker handled the situation regarding Christina's interaction with Faculty 1, he refuses to answer that question. Instead, he attempts to supplant a second storyline that I never asked him about in regards to how Dean Crocker addressed a situation with Faculty 1 that involved me. To this very day, Dean Crocker has never refuted what Christina has said. As a result, Dean Welsh lost all credibility in our eyes as he continued to refute what we knew was the truth. Now listen to the details regarding how Ryan Crocker dealt with Faculty 1 in regards to the issue that involves me. I want this to be a lesson to all academic administrators. Dean Welsh's approach is not the way to solve your workplace problems.
This is not me calling it anything. I'm just telling you what he said. And I will talk to Ryan again. I'll make sure you know.
No, you've already said that. You've already said, and you kind of released some of it, that he did have a conversation with about this.
He heard a door slam in the hallway while he was sitting in this office. Is what Ryan told me. He was sitting in this office, he heard a door slam, and it was something you and
oh, you talking about me? What?
Did you have a confrontation in the office or somewhere
there was
nearby?
some disagreement. Yeah.
He heard the door slam. Okay. Ryan did.
This is demonstrating. See, I forgot about that. This is demonstrating a climate that I've had to deal with, and I mean, I'm asking guys if you remind because I completely forgot about that.
So anyway,
but he said he didn't have a conversation with in regards to the issues that Christina had raised.
What he told me was that the comments about the white versus black, firing a black faculty member to hire a white faculty member, he said, I do not recall ever.
Okay, he doesn't recall.
He knows someone, right?
But you summarized it back to him. So we got this on written paper, but you're saying that he told you, or I'm asking.
I haven't asked him about everything you guys have mentioned today. I want to talk to you guys. I'm going to go back to everybody you mentioned here and talk to him.
You just said that he said he did not reprimand.
That's exactly what I said.
Did he have a conversation with about these issues?
He had a conversation with about losing his temper.
Did he have a conversation with about the issues about with Christina?
No, he said he had a
conversation. He said he don't remember that.
That has nothing to do with what we raised about Christina.
I have not. Okay. Leonard, listen what I'm saying to you. I have not asked him about the things we talked about today. I will do that.
I'll put it in writing about and the interaction that he had with about Christina being fired.
He believes that when he talked to the only thing he talked about at that time related to this stuff was losing his temper.
Wait,
he said
but you were involved.
I was involved in that.
Well, but he said he never talked to you at that time about that.
Said he talked to me about
I'm blaming because when I didn't do anything wrong, it's been still running around here.
He also said he made no determination on who was right or wrong in this discussion.
Then why didn't you talk to
because Bill was an interim department head and was the one to slam the door.
And
he said the interim department head should not do that.
Well, I'm glad you reminded me of just how much I had to deal here with him, and then for you to believe that he only his actions can be determined whether he has a conflict of interest. I just don't accept that.
Well, I'm not arguing with you about conflicts of interest or what he thought.
I've asked you a question about conflicts of interest, though.
Well, legally, it's a process. Okay, there's a process.
That's not what the dean of faculty said.
Well, I've talked to the dean of faculty at great length about this. We may have differing views of what they're saying. But the question is, did he, by the way, did if he consulted with the dean of faculties on the front end, which he did, and told them that he had had some run-ins with you in the past, is it okay to go ahead and for me to be involved?
Well,
so he admits this now.
Oh, he really admits that he had 3 run-ins
Then
with
he
you.
should have recused himself.
And you believe that I'm supposed to sit here
It gets
and
out
let
of
someone,
here.
and you think with a straight
Steal
face,
my career.
to
No.
tell me that I'm
No.
supposed to sit here
No.
and accept your conclusion
No.
that a person that admits
Mistreat.
and actually confirms what I just said. He said he should
He
recuse
tried
himself.
to clear the
And then he
yes.
goes and tries to clear the way for him
Yes.
to participate
So
with his background.
Now you heard that Dean Welsh admitted to being aware that Faculty 1 was indeed addressed by the previous dean on his poor behavior towards me, and that he even knew that Faculty 1 went to the dean of faculties and readily expressed that he had multiple run-ins with me. And then he says all this as if this is just all supposed to be okay. I was having none of it. In the next video, you will hear the dramatic ending to this meeting. You will also hear my wife's take on Dean Welsh's callousness toward the issues that we are raising. I also make a visit to the dean of faculties and let you hear their response to what Welsh just said. You're going to want to stay tuned.